Hello everyone, Ladislas Maurice from thewanderinginvestor.com. So today I'm in Izmir with Keith, my buyer's agent, and we're going to have a short discussion on the real estate market here in Izmir, and then I'm going to show you an apartment that I recently bought and we'll go through some numbers. So for those of you who do not know me, I'm Ladislas Maurice. I travel around the world full-time looking for unique investment opportunities as well as immigration options around the world. Keith, how are you?
Good to see you again, Ladislas.
So I was buying a few apartments in Turkey and then you recommended that I have a look at Izmir. I came here for a few weeks, did a bunch of research and ended up buying an apartment here. So can you elaborate on why you initially pitched Izmir as an investment destination?
Yeah, I remember you were a little bit skeptical when I first mentioned Izmir, and I encouraged you to come down here. I just saw a lot of value. The square meter price, there's still plenty of room to grow. Izmir's a really large city, I think second or third largest city in Turkey.
Third largest, 3 million in the city, 4 million in the region.
Yeah, and the proximity to really popular beach areas like Alaçatı and Çeşme, also out a little bit further on the peninsula. I believe there's areas that are going to really develop in the future. It's also the liberal bastion of Turkey, so very laid back, comfortable lifestyle. And lower prices at the end of the day, and very similar in terms of yields and also future growth projections. So I found it as a good alternative to Istanbul, or maybe for people like yourself who are buying multiple properties to kind of stack one Izmir maybe with in Istanbul or two in Istanbul. A kind of diversity play at the end of the day.
So one of the key advantages I found of Izmir versus Istanbul is that AAA properties are relatively affordable in Izmir. So if you want to get a view of the Bosphorus, for example, in Istanbul, it's very expensive, but here to get a view of the whole Bay of Izmir, you can get some nice properties with stunning views. Actually, you'll see my place, and it really wasn't very expensive per square meter. And as you say, the yields are very decent, and the market is very different from Istanbul. So it's got its pluses and its minuses. So Istanbul is a year-round destination with a lot of tourism, so you have more essentially USD-linked income. Izmir is more of a Turkish play, so you don't just have tourism, you have a lot of business people that stay in Airbnb, and then you have the tourism aspect, which is gradually increasing as well, and especially a lot of digital nomads are gradually moving to places like Izmir that are off the beaten path, but that still offer the lifestyle of the big city, but essentially very affordable. So one of the downsides is that there is no beach in Izmir. There's a beautiful promenade all around the city, but to get to stunning beaches, you need to take a car or public transport for about 1 hour, and then you have AAA beach locations.
Yeah, I think you brought up a very good point as well about the sea view. That's almost one of the conditions, unless we're in one of the most popular areas like Alsancak. If we're in another area, we really want the sea view. But like you said, we were finding AAA properties at a bargain price and with fantastic views. So if you also have a low entry point in terms of what you can invest, this is a great option. If you want to invest in Turkey but you don't have the money for a sea view in Istanbul, which now starts at 300, 400K, then Izmir can be a really attractive option.
And then what we've noticed as well in terms of the Airbnb market, so we spend a lot of time together looking at competing listings, etc. It's relatively easy to break through in the market here because it's not that developed. Other landlords use terrible pictures, actually.
Yeah.
The descriptions, a lot of them are not even in English. It's very much in Turkish, etc. So if you come up with a professional listing with professional pictures, a listing in multiple languages, you can break through quite easily and end up in the top 10, top 5%, which is a lot harder to do in Istanbul, where there's a lot more competition and skills in the market. So
yeah, I was going to say, I'm a little bit concerned that we might get some saturation in the future in the Istanbul long-term market. I don't think we're there yet. I think there's going to be a banner year in Istanbul this year, but maybe in 1 or 2 years there will be a saturation because everybody's doing it in Istanbul, to be honest. But it's still a good play, or it's still something that people can consider. But Izmir's, again, a good alternative to that, and the bar is a little bit lower, for sure.
And this is very important because it's something I've seen in a lot of markets across the world. There's an initial rush for Airbnb. People just go in there like headless chickens. They want yield. They buy crappy apartments, turn them into kind of pretty Airbnbs. And then after a few years, relatively quickly, you see the yields being compressed because there's too much supply. So Budapest was a typical case in point a few years ago.
I ran an Airbnb in Budapest at that time, and it was quite good at the beginning, but by the end, I noticed that we were getting squeezed on the end.
Yeah, so now it's become a bit better again because a lot of supply was taken off the market. But the point is, when you buy Airbnbs, you want to make sure that you have a contingency plan for your property that would actually be suitable either for the long-term local market or as an exit in case the market craters for Airbnbs. And that's a mistake a lot of people do. They'll get that ground floor apartment without any views, potentially without even windows. They'll think they're very smart because they're making a yield of 12%. But if regulations change or if the market becomes oversupplied, no one's going to rent their thing. And who's going to buy this? So they'll get punished on the exit, and they won't be able to even to rent this thing out on the long-term market. So Izmir offers this. You can get AAA properties at affordable price points. You get decent Airbnb yields, and then if the market takes a bad turn, then you still have multiple ways out, essentially.
Yep, I agree.
And the city of Izmir is very well connected internationally. There's an airport which is brand new, and it's got flights to pretty much everywhere in Europe, as well as to everywhere in the Middle East. So, of course, investing in Turkey comes with its own set of macro risks, including the economy, the currency, etc. So it really rather belongs in the speculative part of your portfolio. And then as well, there's always an element of lifestyle when you invest in Turkey. It is a beautiful place. You can spend a few months of the year here generally without being a tax resident. Life is very affordable. The food is great. The weather is amazing. People are friendly. So Keith, enough talking. Now let's go to my apartment.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet. I sold it to you. I think I better check it out.
Yeah, I actually trusted Keith with this one. I bought it without even going to see it. Yeah. And then it turned out quite well. So,
yeah, I think so.
Let's go check it out.
Great.
All right, so here we are on the second floor of this new building. There's an elevator. So this is it. It's 70 square meters. It's a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom apartment. So this is the bathroom. It's cute. And this is the living room with Keith on his phone, probably talking to clients on WhatsApp.
Yeah, exactly.
And look at this view. Amazing view, whole apartment.
Yeah, I'm really happy with this one.
Yeah, it's stunning. Stunning view. Down there you can even see a warship. So this is really cool. Turkish Navy, probably. All the ferries, so it's one of the main modes of transport in Izmir to go from one side of the bay to the other. And because the economy here revolves around the massive port, there are always these tankers and shipping containers just in the bay. So every day changes. So when I have breakfast here, I just sit, have my breakfast, and just look at all the cool ships.
Yeah, it's interesting. Sometimes it's like this aqua blue, then it's almost got this reddish tinge. I guess for people who know Homer, often referred to as the wine dark sea. And then some days it's kind of grayish color, so you get lots of different looks here on the view.
And then what's interesting about this, Izmir used to have a lot of minorities before, because I mean there was a conflict, etc., and there were a lot of population exchanges between Turkey and Greece. But essentially Izmir had a lot of Christians, a lot of Jews as well. So here, for example, is a synagogue. So this right here, this house is an old synagogue. There's a mosque right here. And then in the center, there are a lot of churches, Greek Orthodox, Latin Catholic, a lot of other synagogues. So it's a very and they're active. So it's a very vibrant city from a cultural point of view. All right, let's go check out the bedrooms, and then we will. And then we'll do the numbers. So this is the small bedroom. So 2 beds, just simple. The street is very quiet. And this is the main bedroom where I've been spending a lot of time actually.
You can see why.
Yeah.
I like the walk-in closet. So you got that custom made after the delivery.
Yeah.
The finishing's really good for small local developer. Sometimes we're often surprised in a negative way with the finishing, but here I'm really happy with it. They just nailed it.
Yeah, so I got these custom made here, which is pretty cool. It's got a sensor as well for the lighting inside, and then a desk, all important for me, good chair. Don't judge me for the TikTok ring. I'm not on TikTok.
Another one of the famous bank vault doors.
Oh yeah, in Turkey.
They love those here.
Turkey, the doors are always thick. I don't know why, because it's not like there's that much crime or anything. But the doors are invariably good. Cool. All right, Keith, let's do the numbers. Cool. So we're actually going to film this in the mirror. Somehow that was the best way to do it, so we don't have help with us today. So Keith and I spent a lot of time looking at Airbnb, looking at the competition, etc. And what's cool about these, like an apartment like this, is not only that it's new, that the views are stunning, it's also the design is in many ways minimalistic. And in Turkey, especially in Izmir, the designs of the competition were a bit in your face, a bit too many colors, a bit heavy, a bit of gold, etc. So this sort of apartment should do very well, and that's what Keith has been helping clients obtain, more new builds in this city that he then designs essentially kind of this way in a neutral way that would be pleasing to not only Turks but also foreigners. So the prime season in Izmir is from mid-June until mid-September. So we were estimating, being conservative, that we could get about $80 a night for such an apartment. And we're just looking at bookings for 2 people, so not even looking at bookings for 3 or 4 people, which is possible in this apartment. So we ran with the assumption that we would take away 35% for management, Airbnb fees, utilities, a little bit of maintenance. The reality is that utilities in Turkey are very low. So I got the fastest internet package because it's important to me and it's important to my guests, I'm assuming. And I will be paying, so I signed a 2-year contract, I'll be paying $12 a month for the fastest internet package, including the full cable option for TV. So all the Turkish TV channels, etc. with Turk Telecom. I mean, good luck getting that anywhere else in the world. So that just gives you an idea of what utility prices generally are. Electricity is very affordable. Water is next to nothing. Gas has gone up, but Turkey's been quite good at cutting deals with everyone to get more affordable gas than Europeans right now. So these costs are actually quite minimal. The biggest cost is actually your management.
Yeah, I think we'll be able to get it under 35%, but let's overestimated a bit just to be comfortable.
Cool. We also ran with the assumption of an occupancy rate of 80% for the core season. And then for the rest of the year, it was a bit harder to estimate. We went for $50 a night with an occupancy rate of 50%, and also a key of 35% less for expenses. Overall, net, so we ended up at a net yield of slightly above 7%, using $120,000 as the total cost for this apartment, including all of the furniture, the built-in wardrobes, the lighting, the gas installation, just everything from A to Z, the taxes, Keith's fees when I purchased the place, etc. So $120K. I paid a bit less because I got really lucky. I had this random situation of 7 women who were just selling it, and I just scooped it immediately. But yeah, $120,000 all in would be the market price right now, and the yield would be 7% net before local income tax. Property taxes are next to nothing. Yeah, maybe like $50 a year or something. Yeah. It's a non-issue. Property taxes are a non-issue in Turkey.
Yeah, I think we've, at 7%, we've also come up with a number that hopefully we can beat as well.
Cool. So fantastic. So I wrote a whole article on the Izmir real estate market, including which neighborhoods I liked, which I didn't, which neighborhoods I think are investable, etc. So there's the full analysis. There's a link below if you're interested in buying in Izmir or in Istanbul. So Keith has expanded his business to Izmir as well. Then feel free to get in touch with Keith. He can help you find an apartment and then manage it afterwards, the whole deal. There's a link below with more information on Keith's services, as well as his email. Great. So Keith, always a pleasure seeing you. Until next time.
Okay.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Remember that you can go to my website, thewanderinginvestor.com, and sign up to the private list. It's entirely free. This way you will be getting insider information as I travel around the world looking for opportunities. Lastly, feel free to follow me on Instagram at The Wandering Investor. I look forward to hearing from you.